Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrader.com nightly update show. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in, spending a few minutes with us. All I ask is take a moment out, support the channel, and click that like button. All right, 50-year mortgages, 15-year car loans. Looking forward to spending $275,000 on a new Nissan Rogue. $2,000 tariff dividends to the lower middle class. Government potentially opening up. Oh, we are so back. Guys, welcome aboard. Hope everybody's doing well. If you watch the weekend video as the afternoon gets crazier and I'm on my third cup of coffee, you start losing your mind a little more as each day passes. So after I recorded the weekend video, market put in a really nice hammer over the weekend, like we talked about, when I recorded the video Saturday morning. Unless something really wild happens, we should get at least a little bit of relief, bouncing off the 50-day moving average. About 4 or 5 hours later came the news that there's a potential end to the longest government shutdown in the United States history. Yada, yada, yada. 2% rally. Here we are, right? That is good. And I'll be honest with you, this is the first time going into tomorrow's session in the last 2 weeks, I can honestly say I am not sell biased, right? At least for majority of names. Actually, let's flip that around. I'm not sell biased for a good sample of names, right? Again, is it very, very possible we had this aggressive bounce on potentially reopening up the government, and now this is going to be eventually priced in when they actually announced it? Very possible, very true. Who the hell knows? But at least now we are almost at the threshold where I become bullish again. If you guys remember, going into last week, we knew two numbers. We knew 627 to the upside, and we knew 617 to the downside, right? On the QQQs. Well, if you guys remember, 617 broke, and all hell, right? All hell broke loose, and we traded all the way down to the 50-day moving average to roughly around the 600 area. Here's the good news, folks. Here's the good news. Okay? When you're tucking your little kids at night saying, Dan Shapiro said, if we can get back above 627, okay, Christmas is back on. I said it, damn it. Christmas is back on. 627 marks the 10-day moving average. As you can see here, we got rejected off the 10-day moving average on November the 4th, got rejected off the 10-day moving average on November the 5th, and guess what? Today we got rejected, although slightly, off the 10-day moving average as well. So the key is for me to be bullish once again, Santa Claus rally, Thanksgiving, right? Festivus for the rest of us, whatever your drug of choice is, we need to get back above 627. Again, there is no room for interpretation. This rally was nice. We saw the semiconductors lose their minds. We'll get to them in a second. But for all this to go away, all this mess, all this selling, all this frustration, all the Michael Berry tweets, all the everything, right? For everything to go back to normal and for us to rally into the close, we got to get above 627 on the Qs and stay there. And what that's going to do is that is going to eliminate the last week of selling and reclaim back the 10-day moving average. That's it. There's no reason to argue. There's no reason to have the conversation. You could see it with your bare eyes, right? See this green line? Rejected, rejected, rejected. We need to get back above this green line so we can go back to the 52-week highs, right? That's the good news, right? That is the good news. Did everything go crazy today? No, not everything went crazy today, but the names that were strong, that had multiple week breakouts until this last week or so for selling, they started ramping up again. Semiconductors continued to be the poster children of market rallies and market sell-offs. So let's look at the leaders. Micron's sneaky this year, right? And I'm not a big Micron guy. I think I've traded Micron probably once or twice for the whole year. How this stock just went from normal, everyday semiconductor to semiconductor leaders beyond me, but here we are. Micron went nuts today. NVDA went absolutely nuts today, and look where NVIDIA got rejected, right? NVIDIA got rejected at the 10-day moving average. Again, if it gets back above the 10-day moving average, just like the Qs, it should resume its upward bias. Again, big move on NVIDIA 2-day move. You got PLTR coming from the dead. Now, again, was this a direct correlation to the big FU to the big short guy? Who the hell knows, right? But the semiconductors ran very aggressively. And if they can confirm, right, if they can get back above those 11.4 highs, then everything that we saw goes away. It's very easy. Those 11.4 highs are make it or break it to the market for the rest of the week. Last week, we saw the make it or break it line in the sand, which is the 50-day moving average. Again, there's a big window, right? There's a very big window of opportunity in between the upper channel and the lower channel, but at least now we have a definitive area where both sides need to stake a claim. The cool part about today was we opened up about 400 points. We rolled over in the middle of the day. If you guys remember, we went down to, we went up only about 200. So I went to lunch, and by the time I got back to lunch, we went right back to the highs of the day, which is super duper good because last week we were rolled over and went red. So that's very bullish as well. So going into tomorrow, we got to get above the 10-day moving average. We got to stay above the 10-day moving average. And all these stocks that we are talking about now have to price improve. That's the most important part. You can't have a group of individuals running a lot of money turning around like Kai just kind of talked about a few minutes ago and said, okay, this is the run up into a government reopening. Now we know they're very close to reopen. Sell the news. We can't have that, right? We can't have that. We don't want that. Again, we want everybody to feel good. We want Santa Claus. We want presents, right? We want everything. We want 100-year mortgages, right? We want to spend an extra we want to spend only $50 less a month, but you get to spend $800,000 more per year on your home. Everybody wants that. It's the American dream. We deserve it, right? We deserve it. So going into tomorrow, let's look at some charts. Let's look at some charts that held up. Let's look at some charts that are holding up. Let's look at some charts that need to reclaim back their levels. And let's look at the charts that can give us dollars and not pennies. Again, it's very important that you are trading in a window that you can strike while the iron's hot. The last thing you want to do is trade some random $18 stock and watch it trade with 30-cent range while these other magnificent monsters, right? The leaders of the market are trading in multiple dollars. So let's talk about some ideas. Let's talk about definitely some ideas. Let's start off with Google, right? Let's start off with Google. Google has been pretty good, right? I think we can all say it's been pretty good. It's holding up fairly well. It held up fairly well. This is now almost a 2-week cycle. You can see the top of the channel here, which is the October highs. Let's watch this thing. If this thing can confirm the October highs, maybe Google starts its next leg up. I mean, not maybe, it should if it confirms the right way. PLTR looks great, right? PLTR looks great. All it needs to do is reclaim back, you guessed it, the November 4 highs. NVIDIA back to 200 realistically on the close. 200 right now, it becomes a kind of an irrelevant level. As you can see, all the way back up here to 212 to the upper channel. But as you will hear on social media, it's a psychological level. Yeah, okay. All it needs to take back the November 4 highs as well. Again, very important to understand. Letter U, right? Looks pretty good. Letter U looks pretty good. It got above the 50-day moving average last week. It came in like everything else and reclaimed today's highs. Keep an eye on this thing, some decent call buying coming in. Rivian of all things, right? Rivian of all things looks pretty good as well. Again, it took out the late September highs today. Watch this thing if it starts basing out above the previous day's range. Again, looks pretty good as well. Tesla. I think Tesla needs a little bit of work, okay? I like the fact, like today was just one of those crazy days. I really didn't trade a lot. I shorted Tesla, got a nice rejection, came in. I bought Tesla, got a decent bounce, went up. And I was basically just wanted to see how the market would react to this, the whole tariff declaration of dividends. potential government opening up again. So I kind of wanted to see how everything played out. So it was one of those days I kind of just mashed the day together, put some things together, and finally kind of left. But Tesla needs a little bit of work. It's still stuck underneath the 10-day moving average. However, this is a very important part of Tesla, important part of any stock that has speculation coming in. We did see some very aggressive buyers come in for the 460 weeklies, right? 460 weeklies. We saw some 450s, but they were coming in 460s pretty aggressive. And the one thing I will say about what Tesla did today, although it didn't really do anything technically to get me excited. It still needs to get back above the 10-day moving average. The one thing I will say about Tesla, though, it did not go down today, okay? It absolutely did not go down today when the market got pulled from up 400 to up 200 during lunchtime. So it's very, very important to understand. Bitcoin kind of back a little bit, back to 105,000. However, the derivatives of Bitcoin, not as much, right? You had Coinbase that had a nice rally, on Friday, gapped into supply and never price improved. You had MSTR that had, a little bit of a rally, off the bottom on Friday with Bitcoin going up, was right on the day. So yeah, not everything. A lot of these coin stocks are not exactly the greatest thing that's going. The one thing that I didn't like, okay, if I had a nitpick, right? If I had a nitpick today, the only thing I didn't like the fact that Apple, and granted, Apple, had some news in the middle of the day, really didn't price improve. It tried to price improve, get above last week's highs, and failed miserably. Amazon, that had a really, really big move at the open, kind of really fizzled out for the rest of the day. So that's the only thing I didn't like. But again, I try to be proactive in my thinking on both sides. So going into tomorrow, again, guys, we need, if you're a perma bull, we need to get back above the 10-day moving average on the QQQs. That is 627, right? That will confirm 627. And the only question is, now that we know the news is out there, they're crossing the T's and dotting the I's for a potential reopening of the government. Okay, is this one of those scenarios? Consider we're still underneath daily supply. Is this one of those scenarios, once they announce it, they sell the stock market right back down to the 50-day moving average? Again, we'll see if that plays out for tomorrow. But at least tomorrow is the first day in the last 2 weeks I could turn around and go, okay, I like so-and-so. I like so-and-so. I don't love everything, but I love definitely individual names, especially in the semiconductor space. If they can follow through and reclaim the 10-day moving average, I will be a buyer. Guys, have a great night, everybody. God bless. Hope everybody's doing well. For at least one day, Christmas is back on. Enjoy your 50-year mortgage rates. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.